you guys something that I'm interested in knowing about, and I'm not sure how to do it. But do any of you all know how to get your DNA tested for ET origin? Terry Ling did that, and it was on the George Noory show with that. And she was on there with, heard. And I know Terry, and she had it done. And Cheryl Jones was on there with her. This was about a week ago. You can look it up on YouTube. But I was wondering how we could do that. And they literally scientifically went to a medical laboratory. See what you see on
I don't know. Do you know either of those people personally that you could send them an email? Or
I know Terry. I can call Terry.
Her. I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Because when I came in, like TJ, we both had experiences going back to the crib. And when I came in, they said when I was 18 months old, I've been saying things way beyond my years, and my mother was freaking out. I was just talking too intelligently. So my mother would act out, and she thought she'd given birth to the demon seeds, and she was very, very Christian. And so she would act out and do things and try to hurt me. But
a lot of these people around,
they said
a lot of them think it's of the dark or the devil, and it's silly. You know, it's really sad.
But you know, my poor mother probably was part of some rituals because she's I don't know, there were Masons on both sides. She was really having difficulties. And both of us saw the ghosts all through the house. She didn't know how to reconcile that. I was just like, I'd wake up and they'd be standing at the foot of my bed. And I'm like, okay, you again. So my poor mother didn't know how to handle it. But that 18 months, they said, we're going to send you in here now. You've got to behave. You've got to be human. You've got to behave. You've got to be human. And so everybody came to goodbye. There were just all kinds of beings. I can't even name them. I mean, they were some were like animals that we don't even have, right? And but they were humanoid. They were bipedal with opposing and faces and noses and stuff like that. But they were all wonderful, beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. You can see. If you look in their eyes, if you do a puja, look in their eyes, you see all the ways.
Oh yeah.
All humans have the ability to go through the source if you can really go deep in the planet. So they
That's
said to
true.
and they said, and then this loud thunder. They said you got to go be human, and it was loud thunder and a clap, and then I couldn't talk intelligent. I was babbled. I was to protect me.
Yeah,
so that's what they do.
Yeah.
So, TJ, what do you want to add to our thread that we're talking about right now about the pandemic and earliest interactions with ET? You were in your crib. What about the pandemic? What do you think about this pandemic?
Well,
Is it
Gigi,
a consciousness?
My daughter just died. She had an alien. Just so you know, Karen, my daughter got a type of cancer on her working from being closed painting. She had a real good clearance. But she died March 16th last year, 2019. So I just lost her.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry, honey.
It was hard because even the Nordics, you know, the ones you mentioned, Billy Meyer, but there were some Nordics that came in from North. Yeah, and she and I worked with the Nordics here at the hospital and in the cancer center. And admittedly so. Yeah, one was retiring and moving south, but you know, she was really smart, but they first took all her blood and plasma out, and they call them being reborn. She was in one of those, what do they call them? I've had it on the tip of my tongue, but you know what, trials. She was in a trial, and they rebirthed her. It was terrible to go through. She had cancer. I forgot the name of it. It's from chemicals. It's an acquired cancer from breathing in.
Mesothelioma? Is it
something like that?
It's a lung mesothelioma.
It has. It's. You can look her up. It's. Darn it, Gigi. Cancer Cowgirl on YouTube, Cancer Cowgirl. She's got a red cowboy hat on. But it's from using chemicals in paints and stuff. It's real common. It's in the oceans. And but she got it from the chemicals, but I've forgotten the name. It's funny after a year, but now I'm blanking out because what happened, I mean, we talked about it constantly, you know, Ty, but my point was that she went through and got rebirthed and given a new birthday in May coming up. I think it was May 17th, a couple of days. She would have had a new birthday. But she lived through it, and they thought they got rid of it. But unfortunately, by November, this was in 2017, and Janet, I had just met Janet, and Janet and I was going to do a conference in 2018. And by the time Janet had the conference put together in Albuquerque, I was back again for another big bout at Moffitt. And one alien gene, because you were talking about the DNA and COVID and all that, would not, it got caught. One little alien gene, of course, they knew we were in, you know, they knew who we were and stuff. It's hard to explain, but people know your blood. They know everything about everybody.
Sure they do.
But they had one little alien that was like an AI thing from another planet, and they knew it. And they talked to me and called me in about how did I make her. And they wanted the intelligence, and they brought in intelligence people from like Tyson or Langley or all those people came in. And then they brought people up from Europe and Brazil. But they talked to me about being in the intelligence agency and what I'd do for the Navy because they were interested in why she had this alien. Like you said, how do you know you've got alien DNA? I know because I was told she had it, and I went through the grill. And Janet was talking to that guy with the funny hair with me, and they were listening to what me and Janet were saying in the conference room. So it was all about aliens, and Janet was at an alien conference with that Tompkins dude, and I met him in Dayton, Ohio, and then she brought Michael Sala on, and he knew this guy Tompkins, and then Ken Johnston, and I met Janet in May 2017, and it's so weird because it's like everybody in the medical field, in the government, in the intelligence agency, in the space agency, all knew who me and my daughter were and wanted to know about this alien and how I made her. So Janet was sort of right that all this stuff she's been bugging me about has to do with who we are on this planet and why some of us have more gene swaps than others. They call it alien DNA. But there's normal genes passed down from your parents when you're young, but there's also from panspermia or whatever it was. But see, the aliens I worked with said they found us here on this planet, so they're like Anunnaki. But, you know, Janet, people argue with it because a lot of people don't know the true Sumerian clay tablet stories. But anyway, you know, with me being a past lifer and dealing with the aliens and the Greys and how their story goes back universes and dimensions, nobody wants to know the truth because it just depends on what's been written. So they can only find the Sumerian and fire clay tablets. But we're now opening up to all that other stuff. But I was told to call it the Ascension Age. And I have such a long story with fire. But, Karen, Janet said you were going to help us. So maybe you need to know because you asked how you could be tested. Just because they test you doesn't mean they don't find it. But they did find it in my daughter, and she still died. But my daughter promised me.
What was the name of the test?
She was working.
I wonder what the name
God, they take everything out of you.
No, I know, but I used to work with the doctor who was real famous at one time. Before they had PAs, I was kind of like that in the 80s. So I know a lot about medicine, but more I don't know about medicine. But I've always been curious about this one thing because almost everybody I know that are like us who have this knowledge has a little kink in their blood DNA. Yeah. And there's not a name for it.
Well, that guy, the richest guy in the world, came along and bought, I know he found out about it because he's interested in space and aliens and what we can do to help them get in space.
Elon Musk, what's his name?
There's Elon Musk, Sir Richard Branson, and Jeff Bezos.
Which one?
Right.
Which one was it?
Well, they all work together. All three are going into space. Jeff Bezos bought our Ascension. Jeff Bezos bought our Ascension Center. He bought all of them. He's the richest man in the world, but he got mine. Well, Gigi's, and my blood was tested down there. So he knows he's got the alien DNA in the Ascension files, Janet. He bought them.
Right.
So
I know.
Yeah, but you asked me about that book, and somehow they've got it tied up between Google, Lulu. Google got it, and I don't know. It's on Google, but they've got the page. You can read 90 pages of my book. But Google, when I was a publisher, asked me for some books to put in their Google library. But you can't. I don't know how to buy it. I can't see it on Amazon. Yeah. How did they buy it? Because see, I lost my files in my my computer. Go ahead, Janet.
I'm on Ginger Parish, and
you found it.
I found it, but if you go on Facebook, there's all these pictures of Ginger Parish.
Who is Ginger Parish?
That's his daughter.
That's my daughter that died. The one that's an ET.
Let me go in here. Does she still? Are you
they
still
have it in the Thurmond. They have it in my Thurmond DNA.
No. Oh, well, okay. So the DNA, the Thurmond side, the side that had the Senator Thurmond, has the DNA that has the.
Yeah, that's why she was
DNA.
Getting. Yeah, because he knew, and
so it's not from it's not from the father. It's not from her father. The DNA
it's from me.
Come from her father.
I'm the mother.
It came from you.
Me.
Okay. Do any of
I'm the mother.
Your other children? Do any of the other children have alien DNA?
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to talk about it because that was part of that Montauk, Brookhaven people.
Okay, well that's perfect.
Do you still have her picture on FaceTime, Facebook, and I can read her picture?
Yes.
I can read sound and I can read photos.
You go to Ginger Parish on Facebook. I pulled it up.
Okay, I have.
The show and Ginger
are
Parish.
there 2 little kids? There are lots of Ginger Parishes.
Ginger Parish 5. Ginger.Parish and .5.
Did she live in Salt Lake City?
It was Ginger Theresa Faye Bowers. She has the Rothschild name, the red door name.
I'm just trying to give you the Facebook
Bowers.
name. It's
I'm just talking about the
Facebook.com/Ginger Facebook.com/Ginger.Parish PARRISH and the number 5. That's her. She's got a
where is she? What state?
Florida.
Facebook.com/Ginger.
Well, I'm already on Facebook. I'm already in there, so I'm just need to type in where her name is.
Gulf Breeze, Florida.
Oh, here it is. It says cancer patient Ginger Bowers, Bowers.
I'm on one set of videos, but I can't listen to it. She's got a dozen pictures.
Cancer patient Ginger Bowers will bring up one of her videos with the doctor right before she dies. He tells her to go home and die, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's after we went through all the ET stuff with the intelligence and the people from Norway and extraterrestrials.
Let's see. I see you, TJ, and I see her with you. Was she taller than you?
She appeared taller because she was thin, but maybe an inch taller than me.
Let's see.
I was 5'11", but she stood about 6 feet.
She has a T-shirt on that says Wonder Woman. Is that her?
Yeah, I was their Wonder Woman growing up. I was a superhero to them because I was real strong and read tarot cards and I had superpowers.
And she has that T-shirt on, and
she loves me.
I pick up that she does. She was way ahead of her time. She was way ahead of her time, and not from here. She wanted to go back to her star system. Yeah, She chose it. She did. She loved you very much. I see that. You're in a blue. You're in something blue, and you've got some turquoise around you. And she looks like she's had chemo treatment.
Oh, yeah, lots of it.
She's right here with us.
Wow.
She's with